Chicago Bears won. And does it look like I'm happy? Does it look like I'm fucking happy? No. No. I'm not fucking happy. 106 yards, 17 pass attempts for Justin Fields. But it's okay, because we're going to go on Twitter. Every fucking Bears fan's going to go on Twitter and let's blame Justin Fields. He had a really bad day, so let's just all say he's a bust all of a sudden. Let's give up on the kid. Let's give up on the kid that his only fucking plays that the coach gives him is 20 yards down the field, fucking deep balls to Darnell Mooney, to Cole Kmet, whomever it is, or fucking screens. He has no fucking playbook. He has 3 plays in the fucking playbook that they allow him to throw the fucking ball. You wonder why he threw the ball 28 times coming in today? Because they don't give a fuck about Justin Fields. They don't trust Justin Fields. They don't give a fuck about anything when it comes to Justin Fields. They don't have any faith in Justin Fields. So how do you expect Justin Fields to go out on a Sunday and fucking win you a fucking football game when you don't have faith in him at the top? The coaches don't have faith in him. What is this looking similar to? Starting to look like Mitch Trubisky, starting to look like Andy Dalton, starting to look like Nick Foles, starting to look like Chase Daniels. Why? Because we've never, and I don't give a fuck who it is, in our previous 5 to 6 to 7, however many years of our coaching staffs, we don't have trust in the quarterback for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And you might be looking at here, well, they just never had the guy. You had 2 top 15 fucking picks when it comes to the quarterback. 2 first-round quarterbacks. 2 fucking veterans that were successful elsewhere, a Super Bowl MVP, a fucking guy that was a long-time starter and played a very average role for the Bengals, and Andy Dalton. 2 guys that, they weren't trash. They weren't necessarily the greatest, but they weren't trash. They come to Chicago, and all of a sudden they're trash. Why? Because we, for some reason, put handcuffs on the quarterbacks. They go around like this. They go around like this. Anytime one of them makes a mistake, it's instant, oh, no, we're never... You want to think of something? You want to think of fucking something. Peyton Manning played like shit. He played like shit his first few years. He was throwing interceptions left and right. Guess what? He was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Why? Because they let him make his fucking mistakes. They didn't stop him from throwing the ball. They didn't stop him from having a playbook. They let him fucking make his mistakes and develop, because that's how you fucking develop as a player. You don't fucking just, anytime somebody throws an interception, just say, you know what? Let's just run the ball 10 times in a row. I think I tracked 10 plays. 10 fucking plays in a row. Run, pass, run. One fucking pass in a span of 10 plays. I mean, it's great when you have a guy like Khalil Herbert that can step up. It's great when you have a guy like David Montgomery, who unfortunately got hurt but can step up. It's great when you have those guys. You want to have one of those guys. But you also gotta have somebody that's a fucking threat at the quarterback position. And I don't think it's Justin Fields' fault. Yes, mistakes are going to happen, and yes, those are on him. Yes, they are on him. Is he getting any help from his receivers? Is he getting any help when he's consistently pressured by the offensive line, not being that good? Is he getting any help when the only fucking routes he's given are fucking deep routes that take time to fucking develop? So he's either getting rushed, or he's taking a stack, or he's scrambling, or he's doing a fucking screen pass that doesn't go anywhere. It was a 3rd and 16. Guess what we did? The fucking bubble screen. The fucking bubble screen that we did last year all the fucking time. I said it on Twitter. It's the same foundation. It's the same house. It's just a different paint job on it. Matt Eberflus, Matt Nagy, fucking Alan Williams, fucking Luke Getsy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the fuck you got on this team. For some reason, when you come to Chicago, somewhere in the mindset, it's instilled that you don't throw the football. It's instilled that it's a defensive team. That's how you win games. It's defense. I don't know why we can't throw the ball. We've seen flashes of Justin Fields being able to throw the ball, but we've also seen days like today where they refuse to throw the ball, and when they do throw the ball, it gets fucking intercepted, or because they're just, why don't we have any guys underneath at like 10-yard routes? Why don't we have any guys maybe with like running a crossing route in the middle? Why don't we have any of these routes? We have screens and everybody running deep. Watch a fucking game. Watch what they do on offense. You wonder why he's making bad mistakes? Maybe because the receivers aren't open. Where the fuck are they? He's throwing to Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney can't catch the fucker. Cole Kmet finally fucking found out where he was in the NFL today because he caught some fucking passes. But these are the things. you have success on certain things when you do it the right way. When you have guys running over the middle of the field, when you have guys run those 10 to 15 yard routes, it can work. Those medium yard passage from like 6, 7 yards to like 15, those can work. But no, the way we always run it, the way we ran it today, it doesn't matter where. It's either run the fucking football, throw it deep, or fucking throw it behind the line of scrimmage. Where the fuck is the middle of the field? Where the fuck is the medium yardage plays? Then you wonder why Justin Fields doesn't look good. It's because he's doing shit that you don't do. You just don't do it. 17 of his throws. And then you're going to sit there and wonder, you'll be like, well, he had 8 throws for 106 yards, so let's do the calculations here. 106 divided by 8, he's averaging 13 yards per play. Because he has some deep balls and he has some fucking screens. But you don't see that 13 yards a play is not bad. 13 yards a play is not bad. Let's go look at Josh Allen. Let's go look at what he had today. This might be a terrible example. I'm not sure. 400 yards for Josh Allen today. 400 yards divided by his 42 passing attempts. He averaged 9.5 yards per play. But you know what? Everybody's going to say he had a really good game. Why? Because he didn't make the mistakes. Because he's not doing stupid shit. He's able to take checkdowns. He's able to play in the middle of the field. He's able to have guys open. He's able to use medium yardage routes. He's able to incorporate things that aren't necessarily given to him because, oh, they're going to press me, so we're going to throw it over top and hope that our receiver's just going to be able to catch a 40-yard pass and then it's going to get picked off by their safety. He doesn't take what's not given to him. The problem with Fields is he's going to take what's not given to him, first off, because he's young and he's still learning. Second off, because nothing's fucking given to the kid. Nothing is given to this kid. They don't fucking set this kid up for success whatsoever. They don't. They don't fucking set him up for success. And you can sit here and you can probably sit in the comments, and I imagine some of you will. You're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, he's the one making mistakes. Maybe there's a reason why they don't trust him. Guess what? Josh Allen played like shit his first year. Guess what? Josh Allen actually until his third year wasn't anything. Now he's an MVP candidate. Why? Because somewhere along the line, a fucking dude was able to swallow his fucking pride about how he was playing in the moment. He was able to fucking say, you know what? He has to go through these moments in order to fucking develop. You can't stop fucking throwing the ball because you're scared. You can't. You can't fucking stop at the end of the halftime because you're scared. At the end of halftime, what do we do? Oh, we're going into it. We got the ball back. 30 seconds. We're at the about 33, 34-yard line. All 3 timeouts. Take some shots over the fucking middle of the field. Try to score a field goal. Go into halftime with the fucking lead. Stop playing like a bitch. Stop playing like a fucking baby back bitch. Every fucking coach that's in here, ever since Lovie Smith left, every single fucking coach that came to Chicago has played scared. They're scared to lose their job. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to take any fucking risks. They don't want their quarterback to go out there and score, throw 30, 40 yard or 30, 40 passing attempts a game. They just want to play it safe. They just want to get what's given to them. You think the fucking Dolphins are good this year because they just fucking were okay where they were? They were okay just being a good run team and didn't let Tua fucking throw the fucking football? No, they went out and got Tua a fucking weapon, and because they let him throw the football, now he's able to fucking get it to his goddamn weapons. There's so many fucking examples around the league of people that fucking sucked that are all of a sudden, because somebody along the line put trust in them, people that were considered busts, were considered not good at the quarterback position. Tua, we got fucking Josh Allen. We had so many different examples that have played really well. And then we have Justin Fields, who nobody wants to believe in for whatever reason. And I don't mean that nobody as in like literally nobody. When I'm saying nobody, there is a portion of the fans that don't believe in him. There is. And those fans, I don't support because they give up on people way too easily. I don't like Bears fans. I don't. I've been over it multiple times. Our play calling has sucked ever since Lovie Smith left. Mark Trestman, John Fox, fucking Matt Nagy. It doesn't matter who the fuck's running the goddamn show. It sucks. It fucking sucks. I don't like Bears fans. I don't like them at all. because they are so wishy-washy on who and when and how they support people. They are. They don't really know what they're doing. They all really feel casual. But when I'm saying the term nobody believes in Justin Fields, I mean Matt Nagy. I mean Eberflus. I mean the guys that actually matter. And that's okay. You can have a guy at quarterback that you don't believe in because maybe the other guys aren't necessarily there yet. But when it's not okay is when you have so little trust in a guy you spent a first-round pick on. Do not let him throw 20, 30 times in a game. It's year two. It's year two. He should be throwing 20, 30 passing attempts. Just so we can clarify things, let's go to Davis Mills. Second year guy. 32 passing attempts. 245 yards. With arguably worse talent than us. Why can't we do that? Why can't we do that? You're telling me that Davis Mills is actually just better than Justin Fields. Justin Fields doesn't have it in the tank. You're telling me that's just the case. I find that hard to believe when I watch Justin Fields in college. And granted, not everybody translates to the NFL, but I find that hard to believe that you failed with Mitch Trubisky. You failed with two quarterbacks that have been starters in their career and have been really solid, and Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. Chase Daniels is he's a wash. He's a wash. It's nothing against the guy, but I'm not considering him as one of the guys that you could have won with. And Justin Fields. So you at least had 4, maybe 5 if you want to count Chase Daniels, different quarterbacks that have failed. Because in the Chicago system, you don't trust them. Whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, it doesn't change throughout any of the coaching staff. It doesn't change. I don't know why it doesn't change. You can't convince me. You cannot convince me that you have failed with 4 different guys, all because every one of those 4 guys you went after were not the guy. You can't convince me. It doesn't help that going into it, everybody wants them to be the fucking next Deshaun Watson. It doesn't help that. When we signed Nick Foles, he's going to come in and save the franchise. No. We signed Andy Dalton, he's going to come in and if he has to start, he'll be really solid for us. Justin Fields, we draft him. He's going to be the next Deshaun Watson. He's going to be the next Dak Prescott. Basically comparing him to any mobile QB that there is. Why aren't these things happening then? Is it just because they aren't good? You're telling me that somewhere along the line they just lost their talent? Maybe there's a common denominator here. And maybe we need to stop pointing the fingers at who's not what. Maybe we need to start pointing the thumbs. What have we done as an organization that has put Justin Fields or anybody else in that matter on that offense to succeed? What have we done? Darnell Mooney's there. Cole Kmet's there. Who's our number 2 option? Byron Pringle. Kwame St. Brown. Well, maybe that's why people aren't open down the field. Maybe Ante Pettis. Maybe we are starting some rookie offensive linemen that are still getting into the flow. Maybe we're using Sam Mustipher at center, who is terrible at center. That might be the only person that I'm going to sit here and actually bash. I'll criticize a lot of the people, like I'm doing with Fields, and like I'm doing with the coaching staff. But that is one guy that I do not like. I don't like Sam Mustipher. I think he's terrible. I'm not going to try to justify anything that guy's done. You got guys like that are on the team that can't even snap the ball. But Justin Fields is the problem. How do we set Justin Fields up for success? That's the grand question, right? That's the great old question that everybody falls back on, is how do they set their quarterback up to be successful? It doesn't matter if you have an unsuccessful quarterback. Mitch Trubisky was an unsuccessful quarterback that made the Pro Bowl because his coaching set him up to be successful. And that was with Matt Nagy, who we all begged to be fired. To me, this play calling feels worse than Matt Nagy's play calling. Because everybody knows we're running the ball. Everybody knows we're running the ball. And then when we do pass it, It's that bubble screen shit that failed with Nagy, or we're throwing it deep. We don't use the middle of the field. We're not getting Cole Kmet involved. We're not getting Darnell Mooney involved. We're just not doing what we did last year. Granted, we are putting up more points than we did last year, but offensively, it feels like we've still struggled more. Why are we so concerned about this offense? Because it doesn't feel as if we are doing what the scoreboard would imply, that we're putting up points. We had 10 points last week, 23 this week. We had 19 points. There was games last year that we were sitting there, we're like, what the fuck's the offense doing? And we're putting up, outside of the Green Bay, we're scoring touchdowns. It just doesn't feel like we're doing anything. Why is that the case? Why is that the case? That shouldn't be the case. I shouldn't be on here after a victory where we win by 3 off a last-second field goal. It should be a pretty exciting moment, and I shouldn't be complaining. But here we are. Because this team right now, the way it's constructed, the way that it's built, we're in the process of getting Will Anderson. We're in the process of getting a Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're in the process of getting a Jordan Addison. We're in the process of being a top 10 pick. That's just where we're heading. And you look at teams that are tanking. You look at the Falcons of the world. You look at the Seahawks of the world. Why do their quarterbacks not look like trash? Their quarterbacks aren't anything special. You're telling me Justin Fields is worse than Geno Smith? Somewhere along the line, we have to understand that this is a coaching problem. It doesn't help anybody when the offensive coordinator that you get is from Aaron Rodgers' system, where all he's going to do is stuff that is expected, run the ball and throw deep, because that's just always been Rodgers, what he's done. It doesn't help when your head coach, the guy that should have the most faith in your starting quarterback, is a defensive guy. It doesn't help when you have that. It doesn't help when you're not going out and seeking guys that have had quarterbacks that dealt with adversity. Go get a Bieniemy. Go get a Bieniemy. Go see if you can pick up somebody like a Leslie Frazier. Go see if you can pick up somebody, a Brian Dabble. Granted, he got signed, but those are the kind of guys you want. A guy that has had a quarterback that has had to deal with adversity and has came out on the other side. We're sitting here 3 years ago, and a lot of people are sitting there talking about Josh Allen's a bust. We're sitting here last year talking about Tua as a bust. We're sitting here this year as saying they just put on one of the best games of the season. They shot it back and forth. They might be two of the top quarterbacks in the league. That's why you never give up on a player. You never give up on a player, because they can turn into the next Josh Allen. They could turn into the next Tua. But you got to help them. You got to make them have the resources to do it. You got to set them up for success, and that's not something the Bears have done. I don't know if it's because we're just too cheap or necessarily. Why can't our coaches just come up with smart plays, man? Nobody ever gets open. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Man, I don't even know what to say about this team anymore, man. I imagine somebody in the comments is going to be down there talking about Fields and how bad he is. And you know what? Have a fucking blast, because if he turns out to be the next Josh Allen, then I'm going to fucking rub that shit right back in your fucking face, because I don't really give a fuck at this point, because I don't think the kid sucks. I think everybody around him on that coaching staff just isn't up to par. Because how do you fucking fail with 4 quarters? I get it. New coaching staff. You can't just blame them. They're doing the same shit, if not worse, than what fucking Matt Nagy did. They're not following a different formula. They're following the exact same formula. They fucking got the same recipe. Kicked the old staff out. It's like you're working at McDonald's. You got the fucking recipe, and they fire the cook. They hire a new cook, but they give them the recipe and say, you know what, do it just this way. Follow the recipe word for word, and that will be our product, our end product, a mediocre, middle-of-the-road product. They handed them that recipe and said, here, take it. You're the new one. People might like you more. You might be less problematic for our business. Whatever. But here's our recipe. We're just changing the cook. That's really what it feels like. It's the same shit. It's the same exact thing. Is anybody going to sit here and say that they are coaching very similar? No. I'm probably one of the only few that are going to say that. You're not going to hear about Matt Eberflus struggles until like 2 or 3 years down the line. But when everybody's starting to ask for him to get fired, unless he is able, and I'm hoping this is the case, if he's able to take criticism and he's able to adjust and game plan differently than what he has been doing, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt still because it's his 3rd game in the NFL. If he is able to adjust and figure things out. But if he isn't able to, don't be surprised in 2 years after Justin Fields is well on his way somewhere else, probably starting just like Mitch did. Mitch might not have played well this season so far, but once Justin Fields starting for like a whomever, the Texans or whomever, once he's gone, and we are sitting there thinking about fire. Well, you can't say fire Nagy. So Fiber, Eberflus, fire Matt, something like that. When we're doing that again, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I hope we're not doing that again. I hope he's able to adjust. I hope he's able to figure things out with Fields. But from what I've seen, if you have zero threat whatsoever to throw the football, you ain't gonna last long as an NFL quarterback. B, as a coach. If you're coaching a quarterback that can't throw over 200 yards in any given week, how you winning games? And if you ain't winning games, this is a result-based league. That means you're out. You come in, you go 3-14 this season. Guess what? That means you're out. There's no second chances in the NFL. When a team thinks that you just have nothing more to give, and when a team starts to think you're not the guy, it's very similar to the players, where we're sitting here and we're like, maybe Fields not the guy. They're doing the same thing to you. Maybe you're not the guy. Maybe you're not the guy. But as a fan, as an analyst, you don't look at that. You don't look at that. You look at the result on the field. How did so-and-so play today? Forget what happened. Forget who was telling that player to do what he did. Forget any of that. The players are focused on a bigger light than the coaches. So that's a reason why Justin Fields is going to get more criticism than Eberflus. You fired Matt Nagy because we thought he was the issue. We thought he was the issue. We hired a guy that's coming in doing the same shit with the old team. And by the way, somebody was telling me that this team is a lot less talented than the last one. I don't know what he's talking about. We have a whole new... We cut dead weight last year. Allen Robinson did not care to be here. Byron Pringle had a better season last year. I'm not saying Byron Pringle is better than Allen Robinson in his peak. Both of these teams have been terrible offensively, is what I'm saying. They're not significantly worse on offense. No, they're not. I don't care what anybody says. They're not. They're not. There's nobody on that last year's offense that I'm sitting there like, damn, I wish we could have had him back. Woo! No. Talking about Jimmy Graham. Fuck, Jimmy Graham played like 4 fucking games? Why would he be upset about him being gone? He's fucking 38 years old. Fucking 38. Who gives a fuck? We're not significantly worse than we were last year offensively. But maybe because we don't have the right guys calling plays. Maybe because we're doing the same shit that has failed. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, man. This fucking team was frustrating to watch today. I don't really give a fuck about the win. The win means nothing to me personally. It's not going to change my life one way or another. This dude right here. But, yeah, it's ridiculous. So, I want to get on out of here because now I'm just going to fucking be in Twitter beef for the rest of it. Thank you guys for watching.